While the brutal winter weather cut off power in Texas and other places, Wisconsin's power supply held up to the cold.
We're well prepared because our equipment is designed for it, our people and the procedures we have are set up for the harshest conditions of winter.
We Energy's President Tom Metcalf gave 12 News a rare inside look at the company's massive Oak Creek power plant campus. He says this system handled the 5 times that we dipped below zero in the matter of 2 weeks without issue. But there were other challenges across the region.
During the very, very cold period we had in February, we saw constraints on our interstate transmission network. Pipelines that bring gas into the state were at maximum capacity.
But perhaps the biggest challenge occurs right inside this room, maybe the most fragile piece in this whole process.
That's the main control room behind that black wall over there.
As the utility braced for the cold, keeping the power on also meant keeping its workers safe. This is the part that no one else is allowed into.
Yeah, that room right there, we have it locked down for just the control operators ever since the pandemic started.
The company created a COVID bubble for the dozen staffers at the controls of the power plant who are the first line of defense against any problems that occur in the system. The company's president says weathering the pandemic is proving to be a bigger concern than even the extreme cold.
What worries you? What keeps you up at night?
I'm worried about COVID. I want to get through this and I want to get our employees vaccinated.
In Oak Creek, I'm Kent Wainscott, WISN 12 News.
The utility tells 12 News that currently about 80% of the workforce at the Oak Creek campus is working remotely due to the pandemic. Weather Watch 12 now. We were almost 20 degrees colder than yesterday. Mark, the 30s felt kind of chilly out there.
Kind of funny how fast you get used to temperatures making it up in the low 50s. It was a beauty yesterday. It was still a beautiful day today. It's nice to still see some light out there. Looking from the top of the U.S. Bank building out to the west, sunset at 5:45. Our temperature coming in at 30 degrees. Again, yesterday was our first day in the 50s of the entire year. But there's more 50s in the forecast, by the way. Something to look forward to as we work our way into next week. Now for tonight, it will be rather chilly. 24 here in the city, even colder inland. The nice thing is not much in the way of winds. Again, that sunset tonight at 5:45. We'll talk about those 40s and 50s coming up in Weather Watch 12.
The trial for a woman accused of spitting on a teenager during a protest in Shorewood will remain in Milwaukee County. A judge today denied a change of venue request for Stephanie Rapkin. Rapkin is charged with disorderly conduct with a hate crime modifier after video showed her spitting on a black teenager during a protest last summer. She's also charged with battery to a law enforcement officer. Police say she kneed an officer in the groin during her arrest. Congressman Adam Kinzinger from Illinois is pushing Republicans to abandon former President Donald Trump. Kinzinger has ties to Wisconsin. He serves in the Wisconsin Air National Guard. Tonight, 12 News' Matt Smith brings us inside the controversy.
Here in the land of Lincoln, a new and fiery debate about the future of the Republican Party post-President Trump. At the center of that, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, and he's been one of the harshest critics of the former president.
And I think it's time for a family discussion out in public about who we need to be, and people have to choose sides.
The Republican congressman whose district borders southern Wisconsin has close ties to the Milwaukee area, and he's creating a lot of controversy within the Republican Party. That part of our conversation tonight.
You can watch Matt's story tonight right here on WISN 12 News at 10. Local activist Von Mays is back in Milwaukee after traveling more than 1,000 miles to help storm-ravaged areas in Texas. 12 News' Shernay Amara spoke with him about the quest to help.
I think that there's a group of us here that understand that not only do we have to take care of our own city, we do have an obligation as Americans in general to aid and assist wherever we can.
Milwaukee activist Von Mays, now back from storm-warmed Texas, tells me he's proud of how his city mobilized to help people in need miles away.
When people are dying of carbon monoxide poisoning because they're trying to stay warm, when stores are like sold out and people can't get access to water, anybody should feel some type of way about that going on anywhere that they can reach.
That's why his group, Comforce MKE, initiated a call on social media.
We were able to get a 26-foot truck filled with waters, winter supplies, food, pretty much anything you can think of.
With help from partner groups, County Supervisor Saquana Taylor and radio host Homer Blow, the new group MKE to Texas was on its way.
What did you see when you got down there?
I just saw people they were in need, but they weren't broken.
A reminder, he says, of resilience.
People are very strong.
Shanae Amara, WISN 12 News.
They're hoping to make another run to Texas or possibly get help to Jackson, Mississippi. Aaron Rodgers opens up about